YouTube, and welcome back to my Random Thoughts on Thursdays. And this time I'm gonna just kind of do a belated kind of year in review and what's going on with me in the new year. Okay, so I know it's been a while since I posted a video, like almost a month now probably, and you know, it's just been kind of crazy. I know I've mentioned this before, you know, blah blah blah, that I'm busy, and I have been, and my business has been doing really well ever since I got that certification. It's just like, you know, everyone's crawling out of the woodworks to work with me now, so I'm like, that's good. I'm happy with that. But, you know, I don't want to let this YouTube channel just completely die either. I do plan on maintaining it, but I'm just probably not going to be posting as regularly as I was. You know, I can try to do once a week, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to, just because of various random circumstances and things, and just because I've got lots of other things that I like to do. Same thing goes for my my gaming channel. It's like, I've been enjoying playing a number of games that I'm not recording, that I'm posting on YouTube. I'm just playing them. In some cases, I think they're games, I'm not entirely sure, but I think there may or may not be too many cutscenes, like Dragon Age Origins. There's too many cutscenes where, and I know that typically you end up having to cut the cutscenes out. The cutscenes don't make any sense without the dialogue, and you can't have the dialogue because of copyright issues and that kind of thing. And so, so games like that really don't make sense for me to do on YouTube, and I've just been really enjoying playing Dragon Age Origins. I got it because the EA had a freebie where they were giving away Dragon Age Origins for a couple weeks last year, probably as a promo to get people into the series, to get Inquisition, which is the new one. And my husband actually got that one and has been playing it on the PlayStation. I haven't tried it yet, other than character creation at this point, because I haven't even finished the first game yet, and I kind of, because it's such a lore-driven and story-driven game, I kind of want to see what happens in the story with the first one. And I know a lot of people have said that Dragon Age 2 was kind of meh, but I probably, just for the sake of story consistency for me, I probably will play through Dragon Age 2 as well, as good or bad as it may be. So, you know, so there's that. I mean, I am going to eventually come back and do more of the World of Warcraft. I mean, I literally have not leveled my character at all since the last video of that I put up. I haven't even logged in and played it. And the same thing goes for Sims and SimCity and all that stuff. It's like, I just haven't been logging in and playing those games. Just because, again, I've been, you know, much more busy with my work, and so it doesn't leave me as much time for gaming, and then also video editing and that kind of thing. In addition to that, I am also doing a children's book. So, long story short, like 20-some years ago, I started writing a children's book. It was an inspiration from a little rhyme from one of the kids I used to babysit. I babysat for like 9 years, and this little kid came up with this cute little rhyme, and it's basically, it's the opening of the book. And if I do a series, it'll probably be the opening of every book in the series. But it goes, did a little lion and did a little bear, went to sea on the pickle palm chair. So that's the rhyme. And I took that and have created an entire little adventure based on that little rhyme. And I give acknowledgement to the little girl. Well, she's hardly a little girl. I mean, she's almost 30 now, sad to say. But yes, I have given, you know, full acknowledgement to her. She's aware of the fact that I'm writing the book, and she's, you know, like ecstatic that I'm actually wanted to take her little childhood rhyme and turn it into a book and stuff. So, I mean, I want to give credit where credit's due. The inspiration came from her, but then, you know, the rest of everything written is mine. And I finally got around to finding an illustrator to help me illustrate the book, and I'm going to be self-publishing through, I think they're called Lulu.com. They're a self-publishing house and everything, and they can help you get the ISBN code that you need for the book, and they can help put you on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com and other online retailers and things. So they kind of help do some of that legwork for you, which is nice. And I think it's like, it's print on demand though, I think. So basically, as when people order a book, they'll print it and ship it to them. So that's kind of cool. Still haven't figured out the right price point yet. I think it depends on like how many copies are sold, and that kind of thing will determine the price of the book, and it may vary and fluctuate and that kind of thing. I really don't understand how the pricing works yet, but I don't have a completed book to submit, so I haven't seen like the next steps in terms of how that works. I don't expect to be making a huge profit on this book. This is not why I'm writing this book. You know, it would be nice to make, you know, a buck or two a book, but and then the illustrator and I are gonna split the proceeds 50-50, and that's the way we're doing that and things. But you know, it's just to say that I've actually published a book is kind of cool, even if it is self-published. But you know what, it's still, hey, if I can point people to say, hey, look, go to Amazon and here's my book, I think that would be kind of cool. So that's another thing I've been working on. And once again, you know, it's the new year, and I'm done with resolutions. It's just one of those things, like after the holidays and you overeat over the holidays, even though I was actually pretty good this year. I actually did not overeat this year, and I did not put on weight. I'm still overweight and I haven't lost any weight. I'm still struggling with that, and I'm actually still looking for a doctor to help me, because you know, even though my thyroid's good, my cholesterol is actually really good. I just got that tested, and my cholesterol used to be really bad. It was like 290, and it's down to 192, and I haven't really been doing much to get there. So I'm not quite sure how I got my cholesterol better, but it's you know, I'm you know, my blood pressure is good. Apparently my blood sugar is a touch high, but at the time I took the test was a day after I had the stomach flu or norovirus or whatever, and my doctor said, yeah, it's very common for you to have a spike in blood sugar if you've had that kind of illness, and haven't had the food in your system for, because I basically at that point hadn't put food in my system for almost 36 hours, so and then I was still supposed to fast for the blood test anyway, so I didn't eat until afterwards. So yeah, so she's actually going to have me retested. I think she's going to do some kind of a thing where I get retested 3 times over 3 months or something, just to kind of make sure the blood sugar is you know, is it really elevated, or was it due to the illness. So we'll see about that. But in the meantime, I am trying to do what I can to be healthy. I mean, like I said, I haven't gained weight, but I haven't lost weight. I've just kind of, the last 3 years, my weight has just been kind of like this, just flatlined. It just, you know, it'll fluctuate up and down by about 5 pounds, but that's about it. And it's just not doing anything. I mean, it's like my body is like, okay, we're happy at this weight. But, you know, my blood work is good, but I know it's still not the healthiest weight to be at and everything, and I would like to be thinner. Not that I'm, you know, looking for a hot guy, you know, I am married and all that, but it's still like I should try to be healthier. And so, and my husband actually, he needs to be healthier as well, because his blood work came back and it wasn't good. So we're trying to diet now to help him out. And right now what we're trying, because we're both so busy, is we're trying some of these prepared frozen meals. Not the ones you get at the grocery store, but like you sign up with them. I think Nutrisystem is one of them, but we're not using them because they have terrible reviews online. We ended up each going with a different plan just because we couldn't agree on a single one. My husband ended up trying Bistro MD, and I'm trying Diet to Go. We just got our first shipment of food today, and so we haven't tried it yet. So, you know, maybe I'll do an update on that if anyone's interested in learning about those foods and things and how they are. But they come in these big styrofoam containers and with dry ice and stuff, and so they're completely frozen solid when you get them. And I think most of them are just stick in the microwave to heat, although mine actually has, like, you know, microwave instructions and conventional oven instructions, so I could do mine either way. Obviously conventional oven would take longer, it's a slower process, etc. So I'm gonna keep playing around with that and see how that is, but it's a very controlled way of eating, and you have, you know, you get your 1,200 calories for me, 1,600 for my husband, and then that kind of allows, you know, another 100 to 200 calories if we wanted to, you know, have a beer or a glass of wine or something like that for our diet as well. And actually, it's interesting is today, because today's our first day, and I start my day with a dinner, and then tomorrow I'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I had to eat something else for breakfast and lunch, and I just did a Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich. They have the healthier versions with, like, the whole wheat, egg muffin, English muffin, and the egg white only, and the turkey sausage and that kind of thing. So I had that for breakfast, and then I had one of these Amy's frozen bowls. I think I had the Mexican casserole bowl for lunch. And then tonight, my first meal is supposed to be like a Parmesan white fish with ginger orange carrots, I think is what it said. And I plugged all of that into my Fitbit tracker, because yes, I'm still doing my Fitbit. Even though I'm not going to the gym. I'm trying to walk though, so yeah, I'm not exercising enough, and I know that's a problem, and that's been an issue with me, especially when I get really busy, so it's a thing. I need to get off my lazy butt, but anyway, so yeah, according to the Fitbit tracker, I'm like 980 calories for the day. And I should have 1,200 calories, but with a diet plan, that's if you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them, and I don't. I'm only having dinner with them today, and then tomorrow I start the full breakfast, lunch, and dinner plan. And so it actually gives me a little bit of wiggle room. I have apples downstairs, so maybe I can have an apple for a snack. And I think that'll allow me to have a glass of wine with dinner tonight, which would be nice. I like having wine with dinner. It just makes me feel, it helps me feel less full after dinner. And to be perfectly honest, since I had that norovirus illness, I really haven't had much of a huge appetite. It's really curbed my appetite, and it just hasn't come back yet, and so that's a good thing. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. So yeah, so that's kind of where things are. Going forward this year, obviously my business is a huge thing. Being as busy as I am, I'm actually considering adding a third subcontractor. I have two right now. And one of them, she has a full-time job now, but she's still willing to put in an extra 10 hours a week for me, so that's cool. I like that, but I don't want to impose on her time too much. I mean, she's got a child at home and everything too, so she may or may not start weaning off of working for me. We'll see. I haven't figured that out yet, but in the meantime, I want to continue expanding my business as best as I can. And then I am just kind of becoming a tech junkie, and I don't have it yet, but like this is the Fitbit Flex, and I just ordered a couple weeks ago the Fitbit Surge, which is their new one. It's gonna be wider than this one here, and it's gonna have a full touch screen on it, and it's gonna be like a smartwatch. So it's gonna do all the standard Fitbit tracking, the step tracking, and the distance and the calories and all that stuff. But it's also gonna have the altimeter, so it'll also count stairs. So how many times you've climbed stairs in a day. It's gonna have GPS tracking. So like how you have to have your phone with the GPS on, and if you do a walk outside, you can track your walk or your jog or whatever. With this, it's going to have it built right into the tracker, so you won't necessarily have to have your phone on you to track your GPS. So that's kind of cool. And then the thing that I am most excited about is it's going to also have a heart rate tracker. Supposedly it's going to have some kind of a sensor right here on the where your pulse is, and it's supposedly got a way of tracking your heart rate based on that. It always made sense to me. It's like, you know, you've got this thing here, and it's right on your wrist. You know, why can't you track your heartbeat? And so obviously I wasn't the only one who's thought about that. And so a lot of other companies have come out with these kind of trackers. Fitbit's kind of not new to the game. This is just new for them. And because I have a congenital heart condition, my heart is undersized. It's actually a little bit too small, and so it has to beat faster to maintain my blood pressure. And because I always have normal blood pressure, thankfully, it means that, you know, my heart rate tends to always be a little bit higher, but it kind of screws things up for people who are like trying to measure my fitness level and things, because my heart rate's always too high. It always goes up. My heart rate goes up really high really quickly, and it does take a little bit longer for it to come down. And even when it comes down, what's normal for me is higher than what's normal for most people. My resting heart rate is often somewhere between 100 and 120. And I can go up to 160 like that, just super quick. And a comfortable heart rate for me when I'm exercising, when I've done heart rate trackers before, is about 155. And my husband, he's like dying when his heart rate hits 140. So, you know, I know that my heart rate is definitely like out of whack and stuff, but there's not much you can do with a heart that's too small. And I have, you know, I have been more diligent with exercise in the past, and my heart rate and my heart cardio fitness has never gotten any better, no matter how diligent I was with my exercise. And at one point I was doing like 5 miles. Was it 5 miles a day or 10 miles? 5 miles, yeah, I was walking about 5 miles a day, to and from work, so it was 2.5 miles each way. So I was doing that 5 days a week, you know, which is pretty good. And I'm walking it at a pretty good pace, because I was usually running late for work, so I'm like, must walk faster. I mean, I may not have walked as fast on the way home, but I still always, I like walking a little bit faster. I don't necessarily like walking slow. I don't like strolling. It drives my husband crazy because he's a stroller, and I'm like, come on, honey, that's, you know, and he's like, slow down. So that's a problem, but we'll get past that as well. So yeah, so there's kind of all of that, like, you know, with my business and everything else, but I still want to maintain my YouTube channels. I really do. The one that I've been ignoring the most has been my tutorial channel. I've got one where I do Google Analytics and Adobe Analytics tutorials, and I haven't posted anything there like 3 months, and I still keep getting new subscribers all the time, and I feel bad. I'm like, these people are probably subscribing hoping for new videos, and I'm just not posting any, and I need to, but I just haven't had time. So anyway, so there's that. Okay, I've rambled for a pretty long time now, so I think I'm just gonna go sign off, and I will wish everyone a very happy new year, and I will see you when I see you, but, you know, maybe next week, maybe not, we'll see. I just can't promise. It just depends on how busy I get, but take care until next time. Bye-bye.